Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is SJ. I'm an adult doll and toy collector who just wants to talk about dolls and toys, and this channel is made for adult doll and toy collectors. And welcome to Behind the Toys with SJ. Today, we're going to be talking about Kenner Littlest Pet Shop, the Forgotten Generation. So we all know Littlest Pet Shop, the little animals with the big eyes and the bobble heads that just seem to captivate everyone. But what if I told you that they didn't always look like this? As somebody who was born in the tail end of the 80s and grew up in the 90s, I have seen every generation of Littlest Pet Shop come and go. That is showing my age right there. By far my most favorite generation of Littlest Pet Shop is the ones that were produced by Kenner in the 90s. Yes, that's right. I said Kenner and not Hasbro. So Kenner Products, also known just as Kenner, was founded in 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio by brothers Albert Joseph and Philip Steiner. The name Kenner actually came from the street where the original corporate offices were. Some of the most notable toy lines that Kenner made were Easy Bake Oven, Star Wars, Super Powers Collection, Jurassic Park, I know Jurassic Park very well, and Littlest Pet Shop. 1992 was actually the introduction of Littlest Pet Shop on the toy market. Each set had some sort of action, a gimmick, whether it was a bird being able to flap its wings or, something to do with like its little habitat play set that it came with. For example, there was a set, it was like a little pond, and the set I had was ducks, but I, for the life of me, could not find the duck one. All I could find was the swan one, but it was a pond, and you had a mommy duck or a swan and two baby ducklings or baby swans. I don't know what baby swans are called. The mama duck or swans and the babies all had magnets on their bottom, and you would put them on the pond. And then there was like this little pink wand that you would slide underneath the pond, and you would move that around, and it would move the swans and ducks around to make it look like they were actually swimming. My little kid mind was just blown. Like, I am making these little duckies swim. Or swans. Even back then, toys had some kind of gimmick with them, but at least it wasn't slime. If you've been here long enough, you know how I feel about slime, and my mind is never going to change about that. One thing that captivated me about the Littlest Pet Shop from the 90s was, while they looked somewhat realistic, they weren't so realistic. They just had this little bit of a charm to them that just drew you in with their little eyes, their little slight smile. And there was just something about the habitats / sets that they came with that I was like over here like, yeah, I got pet hamsters. Yeah, I got pet mice. I got a stable full of horses. And I'm a zookeeper, and they can all fit in my pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the sets that I remember fondly that I had. I'm not going to go over every single one because we would be here all day. I'm not going to do that. So I am not going to go into the TV show that came out around that time and everything else. I'm not going to go into all the obscure merchandise that came out or the variants that came out in other countries. I am just simply going to compile a little list of ones that I remember fondly growing up, just to show you the detail and the charm and the thought that was put into these sets. So the first one was called Hurrying Hamsters. This set came with their little enclosure. their little wheel, a water bottle, an ID tag so you could write the names of your pets on there, and a bag of paper litter, like little sawdust. And you could set the little hamsters up in their enclosure. It was like you had a little habitat, a little home for them. They also had a mouse one. I don't really remember what this mouse one was called, but it had the little tank for them to go in. It came with like 3 mice. And then it had this little like plastic maze, and you put the cheese in the maze, and the mice, one of the mice would like follow the maze to try to get to the cheese. Again, there was like a magnet or something in there, but I was just so captivated. I had these little enclosures for these little animals, and I was like, yes, yes. There's also one called the Ticklish Toucan. You got a little bird cage, like a little mini bird cage, the perch to put the little toucan on, newspaper to put down on the bottom, because, you know, in case it poops or something, your little ID tag, and a food dish. Everything you would need to take care of a little toucan, a little toy toucan. That was another thing with these Littlest Pet Shops, the old 90s ones. If you look on all of the ones that came out, they have like little collars, molded on collars, with like little silver or gold paw print pendant on them to let you know, hey, it's the Littlest Pet Shop. It was the Cutesy Kittens. It was a cat house with a built-in litter box, your ID tag, food dish, scratching post, and a cat toy. Everything you would need to keep your little kitties occupied. Just that detail of adding the items needed to take care of your little imaginary toy pets was just something about it was just so adorable to me, so captivating. And it showed to me, the Kenner generation of the 90s Littlest Pet Shop showed how much thought and detail and fun they had in making and designing and coming up with these concepts for the toy line. One line that I remember fondly was the Beethoven line. Who remembers the movies Beethoven? About the St. Bernard that the kids find, take in, try to hide from their parents, and it doesn't go over so well. And then you had Beethoven second, where he got with Missy, and they had puppies. So there was the Tug and Play Beethoven, where it came with Beethoven, a wagon, a turkey leg, and you could put Beethoven in the wagon and pull the wagon, or you could play tug of war with Beethoven with the little turkey leg, like a magnet would be in his mouth and you could like turn it and he would like shake his head back and forth like you were playing tug of war. Then there was the Nuzzle Time Nursery. This was by far my favorite in the Beethoven line, and it was Missy, the mom, and then the 4 puppies. It came with a piano, a crib, it was like a little playpen crib, and it had the names of the puppies all around it. A slipper, because, you know, puppies love to chew. An extended food dish that had food overflowing. It was just, I loved it. I loved it. There was the puppy pool, and it came with Beethoven, the 4 puppies, a yellow pool that looked like an inflatable pool, but it was, I believe it was plastic. A fish that I think squirted water, a snorkel so you could make it look like the puppies are going snorkeling, starfish, 2 towels, dog shampoo, was just a regular little plastic bottle of shampoo, it wasn't real shampoo, an inner tube that you could place the puppies in the little inner tube and make them look like they're floating around the pool, and a brush. I remember summers at my grandmother's house when she would put my pool up in the backyard, you know, those little inflatable pools that you had probably when you were kids. And then she would set that up for me, and then I would set my little puppy pool play set up next to it, and we would have like a little pool day. Childhood memories. Between 1993 and 1994, we got Littlest Pet Shop zoo sets. There were a bunch of sets, a bunch, because it was like zoo their habitat, how they lived, stuff like that. The environment that they lived in and everything else, which I thought was really cool and unique. Like I said, there was a bunch, but we're just gonna name a few. Ones that I remember off the top of my head, ones that I had. So we had the Jungle Bunch, which was a baby elephant, leopard, panda, and a parrot. And it came with like a little zoo enclosure, food, a coconut, and a branch of bamboo for the panda, but there was like a perch for the parrot. It was like this whole like little thing. You had like this little house for these little animals, and I loved it. Then there was the baby chimp. This was my all-time favorite Littlest Pet Shop toy, was this baby chimp. I lived for this baby chimp. I carried this baby chimp with me everywhere. It had its own little room in my dollhouse. And then my mom got rid of it to give to a lady that she worked with who loved monkeys. And I have not forgiven her for that till this day. To this day, I still have not forgiven her. But it was a little baby chimp. You can move its little arms and its little legs. It came with a little zoo enclosure that had a leaf hammock, a baby bottle, a diapers, a blanket, a little doll, and some little bananas. And you would put water in the bottle and feed the chimp, and the chimp would like wet itself, and then you would have to change its diaper. It was everything to me. There was the Wilderness Pets, and you had a baby bobcat that came with a cave, food bowl, a toy mouse on a string, and like their little like play set. It was like a little plastic mat that had like designs of like the wilderness on it with this little cave. Oh, it was so adorable. Then the Lion family. So it was a mom, dad, and a baby with a cave, a tree with flowers. There was like flowers everywhere. And then fruit that hung from the tree. And then a slab of steak, because what else do lions eat? Gotta include that slab of steak. Okay, so I know this next one might be controversial to some, but I'm gonna share it anyways because this was also a big part of the Kenner Littlest Pet Shop collection and a big part of my childhood. So Kenner actually teamed up with SeaWorld and released about 5 sets. We had the Pete and Penny penguin with an icy igloo. Say what you want, but these little penguins were adorable. The little igloo home that they had, adorable. Then there was Baby Shamu with a seashell cradle. This was my favorite one out of all the sets. He moved his little dorsal fin, and his tail would move. If you didn't think I didn't reenact that scene from the 90s cartoon, the Little Mermaid cartoon, where she met Spot and they swam, twirled up, and then jumped out of the water, I reenacted that scene daily with my Little Mermaid figure and Baby Shamu. Then we had Sir Winston Walrus on Rocky Coast, and it was just a very simple set of like a little rock on some like beach or whatever with a little walrus, and his head moved up and down. This one was cute, don't get me wrong, but something about that walrus's like whiskers that he had, I didn't like it. I didn't like the feeling of the little walrus whiskers, so I actually cut them. Yeah. We had Dolly Dolphin on her dancing wave. She was really cute. I think she like, you could squeeze her and she like squirted water out or something like that. But she had like this adorable little flower crown going on. And then the Shamu family playset, and it was like this like tidal wave looking thing, and I think they swam around or something like that, and it lit up. And the cool thing about this set is you could actually connect them all together and put on like a little show. Now, towards the end of the 90s, Kenner did start to experiment with like non-realistic looking pets. We got mermaid kitties, and horses and monkeys. I didn't have any of these. I wasn't interested in them. Then there was a dazzling hair pets, which were just your typical like cat or dog or horse or whatever, but they're like had neon colored manes or different colored manes and tails and hair, and you could like style the hair and stuff like that. Again, I wasn't interested in those, but go off, I guess. So what happened? What changed? What happened to the first generation of Littlest Pet Shop? In mid-1991, Hasbro purchased Kenner and later closed the Cincinnati offices in 2000. And all of Kenner's products, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Littlest Pet Shop, all merged into Hasbro. Now, nowhere that I could find online stated as to why Hasbro bought Kenner, but the only thing I can really think of is Kenner was probably like in trouble. They didn't have a lot of money, so Hasbro came along and bought them. Naturally, with Hasbro buying Kenner, they did change a few things up. We've seen a lot of different iterations of Littlest Pet Shop in the past few years, so I don't think I have to explain how they changed it up. Now, do I like the new Littlest Pet Shop? I believe we're on Generation 7, Series 3. Yes, I do. I think they're cute. I do like the bobblehead. I think it's cute. And I see all these, LPS2 people. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Like, that is adorable. I love that. All the little skits that I'm seeing on TikTok of people, messing around with their little LPS, the accessories that people make for them. I love it. I love it. But in my opinion, the new just doesn't have the same charm as the old. And you could chalk it up to nostalgia. That was my childhood. That is what I knew. That is what I grew up with. Like I said, I just felt the first generation just had a lot more thought put into it, with the habitats that they had, the accessories that they included, like a little kennel / carrying case that you could put these in, the ID tags that came with the sets where you could write the pet's name on them. Like I said, I think we're on Generation 7, and I believe we've gotten like a house. It's cute. And then we got like the little pet hotel, which I don't know what that's about. That looks like it's just nothing but cardboard to me and printed on stuff on the walls. We got a sofa, like a dining dash set. It comes with like a little sofa, like 3 little cats and like some food. And then a bathtub / grooming set where it's just like a little bathtub and like 3 little animals and like a little brush and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. But like, where are my little play sets? Like with the monkey where you had like the little enclosure and you had the little hammock and I guess it's kind of the same, but it's like also not, because I just feel like the old sets had just so much more detail and thought. So this is what I think Hasbro / Basic Fun should do. I'd like to see them bring back the old Kenner style play sets and then just kind of like make a spin on it, kind of incorporate it to what they have now with like the bobbleheads and stuff like that. Because like I said, we had like a nursery play set, we had the zoos, we had the habitats, we had, aquatic ones. There was like an iguana one where you had the tank for the little iguana and everything. Not necessarily put them in tanks, but habitats that correspond with the pets. For example, we have those new tubes that came out. You have backyard pets, forest pets, and then some other ones. It would have been nice that instead of them coming in tubes, they came in like a pack of 3, corresponding with whatever. Oh, it was Forest Pets, Park Pets, and Backyard Pets. There we go. It would have been cute if those had come instead of in the tubes, the mystery tubes. They came in like a play set. And let's say the Backyard Pets had like a little yard with like a little fence and like little accessories. The park ones had like maybe like a little picnic blanket with like a little tree or something. The forest ones had, you know, maybe like a little rocky hill or like a waterfall or something. I don't know. I just want to see some more thought being put into what Hasbro and Basic Fun is doing right now with the Littlest Pet Shops. Maybe it's just me. It's probably just me. It would be cool to include something like that in the toys because it could teach the kids about the habitat or the environment that the pets live in. You know, a little teaching moment while playing. So, you know, Hasbro, Basic Fun, if you're watching this video, you know, hit me up. I got some ideas. But that is going to do it for today's video. It was fun to sit down and take a look at the first generation of Littlest Pet Shop, the one that I grew up with, the one that I remember fondly. And I do call it the forgotten generation because when I talk to people who are into collecting Littlest Pet Shop, they are all in head first. They've got over 300, whatever. And I'm like, oh, hey, I know Littlest Pet Shop, but I remember the Kenner generation, the first generation. They look at me like I have 3 heads. They're like, what are you talking about? What are you... That's not Littlest Pet Shop. Littlest Pet Shop has always been these. The big eyes and the bobblehead. And it's like, whoa, hey, actually, no, it wasn't. Let me know if you had any of these play sets or if you had any of the Kenner Littlest Pet Shop toys. What do you think about the new LPS? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Would you like to see them change a few things up? Or are you just content with the way they are? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as it does help me and this channel out. And if you want, go ahead and throw some video suggestions for Behind the Toys with SJ down in the comments. All that kind of stuff. And I hope to see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.